You feel everything, sometimes too much. And somewhere along the way, you started wondering, what would it be like to feel nothing at all? Not pain, not joy, not longing, just silence. Today, that question becomes an experiment. Imagine waking up tomorrow and making one quiet decision. For the next 24 hours, no emotional reactions. You observe. You don't absorb. You respond. You don't feel. Simple in theory, but within the first hour, something strange happens. Your coffee tastes different. A message arrives and your chest tightens. Then you catch yourself. Not today. By hour 3, conversations feel like watching a film through thick glass. You are present, but untouched. By hour 8, the silence inside starts to feel less like peace and more like a room with no furniture. Empty, echoey, unfamiliar. Psychologists call emotions affective signals. They are not random noise, they are data. Every feeling you have is your brain communicating something important about your environment, your needs, your relationships. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio discovered something remarkable. Patients who lost emotional processing due to brain damage didn't become more rational, they became unable to decide. They could analyze endlessly, but without emotion, nothing felt worth choosing. This is called the somatic marker hypothesis. Your feelings are not interruptions to thinking, they are part of thinking. So what actually happens when you try to suppress emotion for 24 hours? Think of your brain as a pressure system. Emotion is the steam. Suppression is a closed valve. The steam doesn't disappear, it builds. It finds other exits. Tension in your shoulders, a shorter temper, a strange heaviness by evening. Psychologist James Gross studied this for decades. He found that emotional suppression doesn't reduce the internal experience, it only hides the external expression. Your body still registers everything. Your heart rate still rises. Your stress hormones still release. You just stopped showing it. And that gap between what you feel inside and what you allow outside costs energy, significant energy. But here's what the experiment reveals that no one expects. By hour 12, you start noticing which emotions you reach for automatically. The anxiety before a small decision, the irritation at a slow reply, the quiet need for approval after saying something honest. You begin to see the patterns, not because you felt them, but because you watched yourself almost feel them. Distance creates clarity. This is what psychologists call meta-emotional awareness, the ability to observe your emotional responses as information rather than identity. Most people are inside their emotions. This challenge asks you to stand just slightly outside, not cold, not detached, just witnessing. And that witnessing is the beginning of emotional intelligence, not controlling feelings, understanding them. Here is what this experiment teaches in 3 layers. First, emotions are not weakness. They are your brain's fastest communication system. Suppressing them doesn't make you stronger. It just makes you quieter on the outside and louder on the inside. Second, you are not your reaction. The gap between stimulus and response is where your character lives. Viktor Frankl called it the last human freedom. This challenge trains that gap. Third, awareness changes the feeling. When you watch an emotion instead of becoming it, its intensity shifts. Not gone, just smaller, manageable, named. Your emotions are weather. You are the sky. Weather moves through. It changes, it passes. But the sky doesn't become the storm. It holds it. This challenge isn't about feeling nothing. It's about remembering that you are the one doing the feeling, not the feeling itself. By hour 24, something quiet settles. Not numbness, not control, something closer to understanding. You feel again, but differently, with a little more space between the feeling and the meaning you give it. And that space, as small as it sounds, changes everything.